I'm ready for the Tracy Ellis Ross package of life. Hey love, welcome back to my channel, Ashery XO. If you are new here, my name is Francis, and if you are returning, hey boo, hey. Okay, you guys, I am finally back with part number 3 of the self-love card game by We Are Not Really Strangers. You guys, it's been a minute. Part 1 was posted a while ago. Part 2 was posted a shorter while ago, but still a while ago. Honestly, I have already recorded part 3, which is the future tense of this card game. If you watched the previous videos, thank you so much. It started off with past and then present, and now we're in the future. So I've already recorded this, but I wanted to wait for a few reasons, because I wanted to make another trip around the sun. I am a year older than I was in those previous videos. Not a full year, but I've transitioned into like the new chapter essentially. And so I feel like I'm older and wiser, and also I am filming this on Valentine's Day, so if you're watching this, happy Valentine's Day. It will not be posted today, obviously, but it's inviting me to set intentions into, you know, the days moving forward. So I am enjoying this game, and even like in my day-to-day, I still pull some of these cards and answer them for myself. A lot of past though, because I know that there are still a ton of lessons that I need to learn but have learned already. So when I'm reading the past tense, I'm kind of answering those questions in a more healed version of myself, and I'm loving every second of it. But I do still know that healing is a constant. There's never an end stop to it. So I like revisiting that just to kind of tap in with myself, see how I'm feeling. Self-love is an everyday thing, you guys. So definitely with this card game, it's not just like a one-time thing. It's something that you revisit. Same zhuzh as the other videos. I am going to shuffle these cards. Level 3, future tense, bing, bing, boom. Let's see, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some good cards that are going to allow me to set the tone for this new lunar new year, set the tone for this chapter. I've been 28 for like 4 months now, so I feel like I'm settled into that big age, into that number, and so it feels right to pull these cards now and to answer these questions now and to put out this video now. So with that being said, our first question is, write a letter to your younger self and tell them how you are doing. So obviously, since I'm recording a video, I'm gonna speak to my younger self instead of writing to my younger self. But dear younger self, we are gathered here today. What I would say to my younger self is, we're doing great. We're doing just fine. You are still very much that girl. I have grown out of my shell, grown out of my cocoon. I've always been the person that you see today, this bubbly, lovey girl who loves all things glitz and glamour, cutesy things, taking pictures, you know, being extroverted. I'll put my personality type up here. I've always been this person, but I will say currently, younger self, we are a bit introverted. Not because we are like afraid or are shy to standing out. It's more so nowadays we protect our peace. Those deep inner feelings that you always felt about people, places, situations, things, that is called your intuition. And you're very sensitive to it, and now we have learned to listen to that voice in our head and to listen to those intuitive nudges. From a young age, I always knew, like, if somebody would be around myself or my family, I can tell their intention. I can tell if they were a genuine person or not. Sometimes I would get mad at myself for not being very open to certain people, like why do I feel this type of way about this person, but I don't really know anything about them, and would kind of put it back on myself, like I'm being a little bit judgmental or being a little bit difficult or something. But I can tell my younger self now that, hey, listen to that, okay? And we did listen to it, and we have strengthened that ability. And now our intuition speaks to us in multiple different ways. You know, it's a matter of paying attention, and we pay attention. I would tell my younger self that having a boyfriend and being in love isn't the number one thing that we need in our life. It's life's toppings. You know, it's one of those gifts that are given, but we are whole within ourselves as is, and we know that now, and we love ourselves and we appreciate ourselves being me, myself, and I. And those external factors really don't define us in any way. And that's not just in love, like with another person, in life. Like the job title that you have won't define you, because you're not reduced to what you do. You're not reduced to who's around you. You're not reduced to what's in your bank account. Like younger self, you are good just being you. Period. Like there's nothing wrong with you. There was some points where I felt like something was not wrong with me, but it was like, why me? Like sometimes in certain situations, if I'm treated a certain way and I respond to that treatment, like, hey, I don't like this, hey, what you're doing isn't fair, I feel like sometimes people would take me speaking up for myself as me being a bad child, or as me being a difficult person, or as me being a bad friend, or, you know, just something negative. But I can tell my younger self that it is okay to speak up for yourself. It is okay to defend yourself. It is okay to say out loud when somebody isn't doing right by you. Continue to do that. And now we know that we've definitely dropped the people-pleasing tendencies, and I feel like we are more secure in ourselves. And I feel like to my younger self, I can say, I'm a lot closer to you than you think. You know, when you think about your future self, you're like, oh, she's like so far, like how's she gonna look like, what's she gonna do, how's she gonna act. I feel like the older I get, the closer I get to my younger self. And in this letter that I write to her, I'm also giving her the biggest hug, because I know she deals with a lot. She's dealt with a lot, and she carries it well. If she's going through turmoil, it's going to be internal, and therefore she doesn't allow her internal to reflect in her external. And so with that, I would give her the biggest hug, because I know that it's hard to carry your burdens internally and not really know how to ask for help, or really know how to open up to people, and only not compartmentalize, but heal within. Like literally think about it until you kind of unravel it and then move forward from it. I've always been the type of person where help isn't really in my vocabulary. That's mainly because I've been disappointed a lot. When I ask for help, it's usually like a thing that gets put in other people's back burner. So I've had to be that support system for myself. I always tell myself, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And I do every single time. So I'll tell my younger self that you'll figure it out. You're gonna be okay. And understand that it's okay to cry. Like it's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to have emotions. My younger self would suppress a lot. Even now to this day, sometimes I feel like I still do it, but it's definitely something that I'm working on and working through. And life is good, and it's only gonna get better. Okay? Boom. First question done. Next question. Oh, this one just kind of popped out. What do you finally feel ready for? I'm ready for more adventure. Yeah, I'm ready for new experiences. I feel like a lot of my life has been constant changes and adjusting, lessons and learning. So I feel like I'm finally ready for the fruits of thine labor. I'm ready for enjoyment. I'm ready for more carefree laughs, more love, a true romance, a true loving relationship, a healthy loving relationship. Like I said, I don't believe I'm fully healed. I do believe that I've done a lot of the groundwork. I've done a lot of the internal work to the point where I feel like I'm finally ready for, I don't want to call it a test, but like the real thing, you know, a real life field study to see how healed I am. Put my lessons to the test. I want to use test lightly because I don't want to be tried, but I feel like I've touched all grounds. I feel like I'm ready for expansion. Yeah, in love, in career, in life, in general, I'm ready for more. What challenge do you want to take on next? To break this down, I feel like I need to look into what I think a challenge is. Like, what would be something challenging that I would want to take on? And it kind of ties into what am I finally ready for. I feel like a challenge would be like a serious relationship. Like, I feel like a challenge would be me sharing myself with another person. I feel like I'm ready to take on that challenge. It's gonna be an adjustment because I've fallen so in love with my solitude. I've fallen so in love with, you know, me having to worry about me and only me versus how somebody else is doing, seeing things, thinking. Another challenge, I have a few brain children that I want to bring to life. The real life children, they can come, like, by all means. I want children in the future, but the word next feels like close future. Children feels like distant future. But yeah, the challenge of sharing myself with another person and the challenge of bringing my brain children to life, my ideas, my thoughts, my dreams, my desires, just actually bringing them down from the astral, aka my brain, my mind, my head, and down into the 3D. And those are the two main challenges I'm ready to take on next. Boom. Next question. What is no longer worth your time? Over explaining myself or like seeking understanding, that's no longer worth my time. Breadcrumbing or falling in love with potential, no longer worth my time. Dealing with connections that are uncertain, non-reciprocal, and just kind of confusing. Connections that I don't want to say take too long to get off the ground, because everybody grows at their own pace, everybody heals at their own pace, everybody moves at their own pace. If it's like I'm trying to communicate with somebody and we just keep missing, then it's no longer worth my time. Like, I don't need to keep hitting my head against the wall when clearly things aren't aligned, you know? And I tend to do that. I don't know if this has to do with me being born on the year of the ox. I was born on the year of the ox, but that reminds me of like stubborn as a bull. I know that's more Taurus traits, and I do have some Taurus in my chart, I feel like, but my moon is in Capricorn. So I feel like my stubbornness and just that little hard-headedness comes from that. And it's not so much like I'm stubborn, but when I'm focused on something, like when I really, really, really want something or see the potential in something or like want something to work, I will kind of go till the end of the earth to make it work. Like, I'll keep fixating on the same type of thing. So fixation is no longer worth my time. Like, once I recognize that, hey, I'm literally hitting my head against the wall, or I'm talking to somebody and they're not reciprocating at all. I'm giving this connection my all, my everything, my attention, and I can barely get a text back. I can barely get a happy birthday. I can barely get a hey, how are you doing? Then it's no longer worth my time. So I'm learning that those type of things are no longer worth my time. Also, like taking things personal, work-wise, no longer worth my time. Spending time on things that I know is not within my worth. Limiting beliefs. Ideas that are holding me back, ideas that keep me trapped in a box, thoughts that keep me trapped in the box, those are no longer worth my time. Like thinking that, oh, this thing that I've been working for like 3 years on might not work out because I've been doing it for X amount of time and I haven't been seeing any results or any major results. Thoughts like that, no longer worth my time. It's better to fill my moments with things of joy, things of abundance, things of gratitude and happiness and love and light. Those feelings of sadness, those feelings of doubt, those feelings of, is this right? is the timing right? Am I doing it right? Am I late? Am I early? Am I on time? All these ideas about what I am doing, the path that I'm going on with my life. Questioning my path is no longer worth my time. Period. Also, things that have a low ROI in my life aren't worth my time. I want to live in fullness and wholeness and certainty in all positive things, and I feel like anything that falls outside of that is no longer worth my time. Boom. What do you want to feel more of? I want to feel more joy. I want to feel more abundance. I want to feel more gratitude. And I know all those feelings have to do with me. Like, I have to give myself those feelings, or rather, I should do things that give me more of those feelings. I want to feel more accomplished, even in the mundane. Like, even when I have rest days, I have been on myself with like the pace of how fast I edit and how many things that I put out there, how quickly I put out there. Like, I stress out a lot over stuff like that. And sometimes I really get on my head when there are days where I feel like I could have done a lot more, and I feel like I'm just not doing enough. And if I'm not doing enough, I'm not getting the results. And it's like, that's the reason why I'm in this point, is because I'm not doing enough. And so I don't want to feel those feelings anymore. I want to feel more of the opposite of that, which is fulfillment in my days. I want to feel more love too. And I want to give myself more love. There are still feelings of being lonely and like questioning, okay, when am I gonna get out of this quote unquote bubble? When am I gonna step out of this hermit mode? When am I going to finally, kickstart that chapter of my life? I do want to feel more of that sense of community, that sense of love, that sense of support, togetherness. I want to feel more of that. I know with that, definitely I need to travel more and see, like, my long distance friends. I miss them dearly. I miss them so bad. With wanting that feeling, I do know that there are actions that I need to do in order to make it happen. But yeah, I want to feel more of the feeling that you get when you go on vacation. Like when you're at the airport and you're just like, oh shoot, memories are being made right now. I remember when my family and I traveled to Jamaica. I have a vlog about it. We reference that trip a lot. Like, we're like, oh my gosh, remember when we went and swam with the dolphins? Yeah, that was crazy. Have more feelings like that. Even the feeling you get when you're opening up like a family album. Just the realization that, hey, life has had its ups and downs, its whirl-arounds, but like, I've been good. And that kind of ties into the feeling of gratitude as well. The feeling of realizing why certain things didn't go as planned, if that makes sense. And having that full circle moment of, oh, like God kept me away from this because this needed to happen to unlock this, to turn this around, to make this happen. Like, wow, there is a greater picture, a greater scheme of things, realizing that and feeling grateful for that. I want to feel more of that. More confidence too, more confidence in who I am, more confidence in what I do. I am a very confident person. I have that already. But like I said, I'm human, and there are some moments where I don't feel that to its full capacity. So yeah, I want to feel more of that. More. Give me more. Next, what do you want to stop apologizing for? Being myself, first of all, and taking up space. I want to stop apologizing for my gifts, my talents, and my abilities. I am a very humble person. I am very self-aware. I have been in situations where I know that the things that I do, the things that I have, the person that I am can sometimes make others feel small. But as I've grown up, I've realized that I'm not doing that intentionally. Therefore, the people who feel the need to reduce themselves when I'm around, or the people who feel the need to put me down because they feel like I'm trying to put them down, that I should stop apologizing to those folks, because that has nothing really to do with me. Because me being me isn't something that I need to be apologetic about. And I did that a lot in my past. Like it's to the point where I'd be in class and I know the answer to whatever the teacher is saying, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say it because I've been speaking a lot today, kind of thing. Like, I've been answering all these questions. I've been on a roll. So I'm like, let me not raise my hand for this next question, for example. So that's, I would say, would be the main thing I want to stop apologizing for, is just myself. Me being me having the things that I have, me being able to do the things that I do, me doing the things that I do. But like, essentially all I'm saying is I just want to live life unapologetic and louder and prouder, you know, and more confident in who I am. So I really just want to stop apologizing for being me, period. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Next question. Let's see. What do you hope to accept, if not love, about yourself one day? The one day has already happened with the way I'm going to answer this question. But one thing I have accepted about myself and learned to love about myself is the way that I love. I'm a lover girl, okay? If we can reference back to the previous video, I forgot what the question was, but at some point I phoned in and gave like a long explanation about somebody who I was feeling at the present, and how it was kind of like love at first sight. Like, when I first met the person, I felt like this immediate zing. Like, I felt it. I was so certain about it. I was like, I like this person so much, if not love this person, okay? And it wasn't really reciprocated. It was kind of like, I felt like maybe I scared this person away because I was too forward with my feelings. And then also a little bit of, dang, why did I fall into it so quickly? Like a blend of the two, where I was like, okay, I was doing too much, but then also they felt it too and they just aren't telling me. But after that connection, I really at a certain point started to feel like I don't like the way I love. I felt like the way I love is the reason why I haven't had that much quote unquote luck in the love department. I felt like I was the reason why my meter was broken, essentially. I opened myself up too quickly, too fast, and expecting somebody to be with me at that level. And I felt like, why do I always do this? Like, why is it always that for me? And I can't say I resented myself for it, but I will say that I was very critical of myself. Like, how can you fall so fast for somebody who you don't even know their middle name? Like, you know? But I've grown to realize and accept and love that strong desire for a soul connection isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's something that's rare. I feel like it's something that not a lot of people seek nowadays. Mainstream, I know that there's a chunk of people who believe that because, you know, I speak to friends and I have mutuals who think similarly. And so I took it as, instead of me feeling like there's something wrong with me and feeling this way, I had to take it like, okay, I was giving all that to possibly maybe the wrong person. I've just kind of wiped my hands clean of that connection. I'm not saying that person is evil or bad or some kind of gremlin roaming this earth and is just seeking to take advantage of people who love hard. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that after that connection and that dynamic, I felt really exposed, and that exposure was my doing. I felt like I opened myself up way too much and was really head over heels for somebody who I barely knew. But I don't fault myself for that because, hey, I'm a lover girl, okay? I love with all my heart. I still believe in fairy tales, okay? I watch Shrek dang near every day. Not every day. Probably like twice a month. And I still believe in that, you know, fairy tale-y, love story-y type of thing. I still believe that there is somebody out there for me that I'm like equally yoked with. And so for me to not like that part of myself was doing me a disservice more than good. Like, it was really affecting me because now I'm like supposed to be cold. I should succumb to what society is doing and be nonchalant. No, never. The way I love is poetry. The way I love is deep. The way I love is soulful, and it's unconditional, actually. And I shouldn't be ashamed of that. I shouldn't cast myself out because of that. So I feel like the way that I love is something that I've accepted of myself. And it's ever changing in the sense that I'm still learning lessons. Like, obviously with, for example, the past connection that I'm referring to, certain things I definitely wouldn't have done. Like, I definitely wouldn't have stuck around when I felt that the connection was non-reciprocal. I wouldn't have kept coming back with more heat, more passion, more love, more care. I feel like I would have definitely set boundaries earlier on, and realizing that helped me accept that, therefore helped me implement it now, if that makes sense. Referring to this question, one thing I've accepted and loved about myself is the way that I love. The way that I love is okay. Some people might call it delusional, and you know, whatever. That's their opinion, baby. What matters is my opinion on me, and the way I feel is that kind of love, that's special. That's the kind of love that you can't really find anywhere else. And that's the love I give, baby. It's rare over here. It's rare over here, man. The person that I end up with is truly going to be blessed. Like, ooh, you finna be one lucky one. Oh, you finna be one lucky man. I can tell you that much. What will be worth it in a few years? I believe that my mindset would be worth it in a few years. I've gone through a plethora of changes. I've been doing a lot of mindfulness practices in my day-to-day life, whether that be in my morning workouts and my routines. You know, I pull affirmations every morning. I journal regularly. I could be more regular, but we're working on it. I think about the meaning of things a lot, and I question a lot of things as well, and just trying to find true meaning and true intention and thinking in depth. I believe that those practices, those aspects, those things are going to be worth it in a few years, because they're worth it right now. I know in a few years it'll be even more worth it. You know, I will have that strong, can I say arsenal? Strong arsenal of, is it arsenal or artillery? A strong arsenal of good habits, let's put it that way. A vetted arsenal of good habits, good thoughts, good intentions. I feel like all the mindful practices that I'm doing right now will be worth it in a few years. I have been exercising for a very long time, and from the day that I started till now, I can tell my past self it'll be worth it in a few years. I'm seeing so many changes, and like, my goals were never any physical goals. It was more mental. Like, I wanted to challenge myself and get stronger. I wanted to commit to wellness, commit to bettering myself, and exercise was a main avenue for that. And I can tell my past self that, hey, it's definitely worth it. I feel like I have a healthy routine in it and a healthy mindset behind it. I know some people ask me, how do you continue to be motivated? Like, how do you actually get up every day and do it? At this point, I would say that it's more a flow state. Like, if I don't work out for a while, I can feel myself itching for it. Like, I need to go back to the gym, or I just need to move in some type of way. I feel like everything that I'm doing right now will be worth it in a few years. I did speak briefly on knowing that I've been working on something for years now, and questioning whether or not it's a good idea to keep moving forward with it, or to keep pursuing it as hard as I've been pursuing it right now. Rome wasn't built in a day, okay? And so this here empire will take some time, but it'll be worth it in a few years. For sure, it'll be worth it in a few years. I have a lot of things planned. I have a lot of hopes and dreams and desires, and I can guarantee myself it'll be worth it in a few years. That is a promise from me to me, okay? We have 2 more to go. What might be possible for you after all? This question and the previous question, I feel like, are popping out because last year was the year of the snake, and we are going into the year of the fire horse. So last year there was a lot of shedding. being done. And with that last year, I experienced a lot of heavy moments, not only like in my day-to-day life and like, you know, relationships and life-wise, but within myself, pertaining to what I do, pertaining to who I am, pertaining to how I show up. Like, I've had moments where I seriously question what is going on. Like, what direction am I truly going? But I know what direction I'm going. So then the follow-up question is that direction the right direction? Because I'm not seeing immediate results. Like, so it's been a lot of questioning. And I feel like that idea of not seeing the results in the 3D is a part of an illusion. It's fear trying to seep in. It's the work of the enemy. And so I no longer subscribe to that. So instead, I'll, you know, just ask myself, like, what actions can I take in this very moment to just take me an inch towards, you know, my goals and desire and ultimate outcome. As I mentioned with the previous question, where it's like, I feel like just a few grains a day, the pot will be filled. And so with that, this question comes up, and I feel like what might be possible for me after all, my future self is telling myself now that everything that I am working towards, everything that I am so painstakingly spending long hours on and thinking about and putting so much effort towards, it will be worth it in a few years. Hopefully it won't take years, but it will be worth it nonetheless at the end of the day. It'll be worth it, and it's very possible. Nothing is impossible. Also, I want to add to answering this is love. There was a point in my last relationship where I fully believed that love was not a possibility for me after. Just because of how bad that relationship went, I felt like damaged goods, essentially. I felt like I didn't really trust my judgment anymore when it came to other romantic relationships. And then after that, I thought like, no, everything's gonna be fine. Then I met the person that I referred to in the previous video. From that one, I did start to think about whether or not it was gonna be possible for me to fall in love. And I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I have started to tinker with the idea of the love that I imagine shows up in other ways. I'm open to that. I always joke and say like, hey, I'm ready for the Tracee Ellis Ross package of life. She has a banging closet. She looks amazing. She is rich auntie, okay? And I'm cool with subscribing to that if this whole traditional love thing doesn't fall into place for me. But that doesn't mean that I'm saying that it's impossible. It's very much possible, but I'm just opening my horizons, to say the least. But yeah, what might be possible for me after all? Everything, okay? The love, the life, the everything that I want to live, that I desire to have, it's possible. And we are on our last question, you guys. Oh my goodness me. This is a good last one, oh my goodness. What is one thing you could treat yourself to? A vacation. The girl yearns to travel. Different forms of travel that I would want to experience. Definitely a solo trip, also a friends trip. Like I want to go somewhere with my girls. Also a girls family trip. I've been on a girls trip with my mom, my sister, and my cousin. We need to run that back. So I want another one of those trips. We went to Maui in like, what year was that? It was 2019, I believe, because I think I had just graduated from college. But we had a ball. Shout out to Costco Travel. That trip to Maui was beautiful. I really want us to run that back. So solo trip, girls trip with the besties, girls trip with my mom, my sister, and my cousin. Also, I would love to experience a vacation of sorts. I really would love to treat myself to a romantic holiday, and I can also treat myself to more rest, So with that being said, you guys, this was all 10 questions of part 3 of the self-love game by We Are Not Really Strangers. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you watched all 3 parts, comment down below. I thank you dearly. I feel different answering this set of questions versus the first and second part. And to me, I feel like that's a testament to my growth. And I've loved experiencing this. Like, this game it doesn't even feel like a game. This is really something special. And I'm happy that I did this today, especially because self-love is God's love, okay? And God is love. And if you're not gonna love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Amen? Amen. That's the main reason why I did this. I hope that this series inspires you to do the work and do the self-love and to start loving you first before you love others, but also still extend that love, okay? Don't be stingy. You can still love others while you are loving yourself, okay? Okay, bye.